Battle Axe is back on the air here on MC22. It's the start of another season. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here as we get set to start season number 4 of the most popular axe throwing show in all the land, Battle Axe. We're set to go here. We've got a lot of competition to bring you. Let's get the rules in place just for anyone who's new to the program. There's 5 rings. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 points for any of those rings. And then the red dot in the middle is the bullseye. That's worth 6 points. That small blue shot on the outermost ring, that's worth 8 points if a player decides to go for a kill shot and they hit that blue dot. If they miss it, they get nothing. Our first match will feature Brandon Feenstra against Cody Newcomer. Feenstra and Newcomer underway here on a new season of Battle Axe, Bobby.
Yes, Brandon and Cody going to start off the season number 4 here. Cody starting off right with the bullseye there.
A nice start for Cody Newcomer here as we get a new season underway. Both of these players played very well back in Season 3.
Absolutely. They are familiar with the league and familiar with each other as competitors. As we saw last year, Cody had a great run through the tournament. And then Brandon got stuck in this little rut that we're kind of seeing here with these 4s. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get out of it this season.
Another bullseye for Cody Newcomer. He quickly builds a 4-point lead, and he's got a shot at a unicorn here on his 3rd throw.
Yeah, and as we've seen with Brandon before in the past, he can get really consistent, so he can start throwing those 6s like anybody else. And Cody's pretty close to a bullseye there, but it is a 5.
Just missed a unicorn there. It's a 5 for Newcomer, but he still picks up a point on Feenstra to extend the lead to 5.
Man, Cody knows he really wanted to start the season off with that unicorn. Didn't miss by much, though.
Well, there's a nice throw from Brandon Feenstra. It's a 5 and a 4 for Newcomer. So Feenstra picks up a point to get within 4.
Up by 4 points.
Yeah, Brandon's getting closer and closer to that bullseye. So as we know, the points matter most in this tournament, or in this season. So each player just wants to put up the most points as possible. Obviously, everyone wants to win, but scoring great is the name of the game.
Yeah, it's all about the points when it comes to setting the field for the postseason double elimination tournament.
So as players switch sides here, Cody has a 4-point lead going into the 6th throw. Brandon just needs to focus on that red bullseye and start putting some more points on the board here.
Newcomer going to look to put this one away.
Man.
But that one gets a little bit away from him. And
so Brandon unable to capitalize on Cody's missed throws there of a couple 4s. Just keeping pace with Cody. It's something that Brandon cannot afford to do when he's up against a competitor the likes of Cody Newcomer.
Yeah, and Brandon is going to have to capitalize when he gets those opportunities here to have a chance in this one, and he does right there. His first bullseye of the day to get within 3 throws to go.
All right, so within a manageable score here for Brandon to come back. It just takes a couple throws here to narrow this lead here for Cody. And another nice throw there by Brandon. It looks like a bullseye, but it also looks like a bullseye for Cody.
Bullseye Cody, bullseye Brandon.
Wow.
So it is a pair of bullseyes from Feenstra and Newcomer.
Still a manageable deficit for Brandon to overcome, though. You can see he's locked in. He's got a chance at a unicorn here. So great match to start off the season here.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get a 4 here from Newcomer, and all of a sudden if Feenstra can throw another bullseye, he's right back in it. But that one gets away, and Newcomer delivers a bullseye.
The inverse happens, so yeah. The axe got away from Brandon there, throwing a 4, and Cody with the 6 to another chance at a unicorn to end this game here. So
it's a 5-point lead for Newcomer. He'll look to put this one away with a unicorn for an exclamation point.
Again, the axe getting really close. That's also very close to a bullseye there for Cody, but it's going to be a 5. But a nice score of 51 to start the season off.
Yeah, those unicorns are so elusive. But Cody Newcomer starts season number 4 with a victory over Brandon Feenstra, 51-45.
Yeah, just a great match here from Cody. Started off the match with a chance at a unicorn, ended the match with a chance at a unicorn as well. Nice score of 51. Brandon just got stuck in that 4 rut that we saw him kind of get lost in last season. But a couple nice throws there in the 7th and 8th throw to make it more of a manageable game. And just came up a little too short.
Yeah, anytime you're scoring in the 50s, you're going to win a lot of matches here on Battle Axe, and Cody Newcomer gets his season started off on the right foot. We're just getting started here on season number 4. We've got our next matchup to bring you. right now. Stephanie Prine ready to take on Gina Feenstra. So we just saw Brandon Feenstra. We'll see if his wife Gina can get a victory over Stephanie Prine.
Yeah, we saw Gina and Stephanie both last season make incredible progress with their throws, much more consistent throwing.
4 Gina, 2 Stephanie.
Nice 4 there by Gina to start off, and just off the mark there is Stephanie with a 2.
Yeah, the pink lady gets away from Stephanie Prine. That's what she calls her axe. You can see it's got that pink handle on it. And a little bit of a shaky start there on her first throw. We'll see how she responds here on throw number 2, and she responds nicely.
She does respond nicely. That's very close to a 5. We'll have to get
4
a ruling
Stephanie.
from Jenny there. And it is a 4, but able to make up a point there on Gina.
So we've got a good one here so far. It's a 7-6 lead for Gina Feenstra.
Well, and for both these competitors, and we've seen it with other competitors in this league as well, it's the focusing on scoring that 5 and 6. You know, they've mastered hitting the
3
bullseye
Stephanie,
or hitting the
2 Gina.
board and getting the axe to stick. But now it's kind of narrowing that focus into that 5 and 6 ring as their next task at hand.
A 3 from Stephanie Prine, a 2 for Gina Feenstra.
We're all knotted up here going into the 4th throw. So nice comeback from Stephanie here so far, and a great throw. Could be a bullseye.
5 Stephanie.
Another great throw there from Prine.
4
It's
Gina.
just off the mark from being a bullseye.
Wow.
But she takes the
All
lead
right, this
now,
is gonna be your
14 to
5th throw.
13. So
Stephanie is up by
nice
1
job out
point.
of Stephanie Prine after starting off with a 2 to just chip away and get right back in it to take the lead here.
Absolutely. We've seen it in a number of matches here. It just takes consistent throws to come back in any game, and just a
4
devastating
Stephanie.
throw there by Gina. She knows she can't have
1
that in this
Gina.
matchup. So a 1 for Gina. And Stephanie takes a 4-point lead going into the turn here.
Prine and Feenstra will switch sides and get set for the second half. Prine going to look to put it away. Feenstra going to look to claw her way back in it.
Yeah, now she's in the position that Stephanie was to start this game. She's got to just make up points when she can, capitalize
4
on
Gina,
Stephanie's
3 Stephanie.
mistakes, and it looks like she got a point back there. So only a 3-point deficit, even with that 1 on the 5th throw.
Indeed it is. 4 throws to go. 21-18, Prine with a lead on Feenstra.
And so, again, for Stephanie, it's really important to not worry about Gina's throws. Oh, that's a great throw there by Gina, though.
5 Gina,
But
4
she's just got to
Stephanie.
keep putting consistent points on the board. Gina's chipping away. Now we just have a 2-point advantage here for Stephanie.
So Feenstra putting the pressure on Prine here. Prine's going to have to dig in and throw a good axe here.
Another nice throw there by Gina.
4 Gina, 4
Looks like
Stephanie.
they're trading some points here, so no loss here for Stephanie, but
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
for sure.
Prine
calling
wants
it over.
Jenny to take another look.
5
Prine
Stephanie.
is just fine trading points at this point, but she wants every point she can
wants
get,
it.
and she gets a 5
Absolutely.
to
This is
extend the
your
lead
ninth
back to
throw.
3.
there you go. So a nice eye there from Stephanie. Bring in Jenny to make sure it was a 5 and not a 4. Still a 3-point lead here. Anything can happen. Another
4
nice throw
Gina.
there by Gina, and another nice throw there by Stephanie as well.
5 Stephanie.
Wow.
So Stephanie Prine responds nicely
Yeah.
to a little run from Feenstra. Prine looking to put it away here.
All right,
She's got a
last throw.
4-point lead,
Stephanie's up
1
by
throw to
4.
go.
Well, and that's something we've talked about in leagues past, Joey, where when you have that lead, it's really important to keep adding points and keeping that foot on the gas pedal there. And so nice job from Stephanie to implement that strategy and
Gina,
execute it
3
effectively
Stephanie.
throughout this matchup, and something that will definitely benefit her throughout the season for sure.
All right, good game. 35 Gina, 38 Stephanie.
Well, a nice throw there from Feenstra to wrap things up, but a little too late as Stephanie Prine gets the win 38-35.
Yeah, Stephanie had a really good job of coming back in this game, overcoming that 2 that she threw on the first throw, and really just didn't look back after that 5th throw. And Gina did a nice job of making a comeback, bringing into a 2-point game at one point, but Stephanie just kept the pedal to the metal and didn't look back.
Yeah, consistency, the name of the game, and Stephanie Prine just a little more consistent in this one than Gina Feenstra, who's going to look to rebound here with her next matchup coming up later this week. We've got much more still to come here on Battle Axe. 2 matches down and 6 more to go. We'll bring you all of the action straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey the Jaw Danya alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford, as always, here to bring you all of the action here from the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. We've got a lot of new faces here on season number 4. Let's get to know a couple of them right now. First up, Beth Jen on her expectations this season.
A little nervous because I've never done this before. I was just asked if I wanted to join. So I was like, sure, what the heck. So expectations very, very low. But personally, secretly, I think I'm going to win the championship.
Well, Beth has a great attitude here as she gets started on Battle Axe.
Yeah, nothing like setting the bar high with those lofty expectations, and we'll see how it plays out.
Looking forward to it. We've got another newcomer just about to make his debut. Everett Shure is ready to go. Here's Everett on his competitive nature.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty competitive. I've always got juice flowing through my veins, ready to try to beat the person next to me, but I'm still fairly new, so I'm still getting the hang of it, but I always want to try to win.
Well, a couple of new faces here on Battle Axe, and they're set to make their debuts right now. They're going to go head-to-head. We're ready to bring you that matchup right now here on MC22. Beth Jen, ready to go head-to-head with Everett Shure.
All right, couple newcomers to the league facing off against each other.
Let's see what they've got.
All right,
What more could you ask for?
Sorry,
Oh my gosh.
You have a fault for Everett.
Beth with a devastating foot fault to start. Every newcomer does it.
Yeah, you know, there's just got to be so much nervousness and angst as you make your Battle Axe debut, and the nerves got to Beth a little bit right there, but she gets right back on track with a 4 on her second throw.
Yep, still just a 4-point lead here for Everett early on in the game, so Beth just needs to forget about that and remember to not move until the score is called.
3, Beth.
Meanwhile, Everett Shure is making a nice debut here on Battle Axe. 3 straight 4s. He's got a 5-point lead over Beth.
Well, one thing, Joey, that we always see, with these great competitors we have in the league, is that everyone is hitting the board consistently. You rarely see drops, but that is one of the more difficult things for these new players when they're joining the league or when they're just starting to throw axes in the first place. It's just getting that axe to stick in the board. So
it definitely takes time and a lot of hard work. We've seen so many players do that here throughout the course of Battle Axe. What a throw there from Everett Shure. A bullseye. He's now got a commanding lead.
Yeah, he does have a commanding lead here going into it. Beth just getting that axe to stick in that 4 ring. Could be a 5 there for Everett. We'll have to get a ruling here. And again, for those of you just watching, the blade does have to poke through on each side of that ring, so not popping through on both sides of the 5 ring there for Everett, but still has a nice 8-point lead going into the turn here.
And there you see the Magic Man sitting right behind those two with some sharp pants as always.
Absolutely. A little taste of what we're going to get later on in the match here. But yeah, nothing like adding to the pressure, just having the Magic Man sitting there watching you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that got to Beth a little bit on her first throw. You look out of the corner of your eye, and there's one of the all-time greats in this league.
But Matt's always rooting on these players. He wants, as you can see, everyone celebrating Beth's first bullseye there. So.
And the crowd erupts here at the Bustin Axe. A lot of Beth Jen fans here.
Yep. Well, the Magic Man very supportive of all the players in the league. Wants to see everybody just keep elevating their game. A nice throw there by Everett. Looks like a 5. Could be a 6 if it's popping through on the top of that blade, but it's not.
Yeah,
So,
that's what's really nice about this league is the sportsmanship. Obviously, everybody wants to win. They want to do their best, but they want you to do your best as well.
Yeah, Matt said before in interviews, it's an axe family that they have down there, and everyone just wants to elevate everyone else's game. So it's a really wonderful community.
All right, and this is your last
Everett Shure looking to put a bow on this
6
one
points.
as he gets his Battle Axe career started. He's about to get the win over Beth Jen. 1 throw to go, and it's another good throw from
3,
Shure.
Beth.
A 5 to wrap up an impressive round for a debut with a 44-35 win over Beth Jen.
Yeah, each player, they're getting their feet wet in their first match here at Battle Axe, and Everett with a nice score of 44. Beth with that foot fault in the first throw, though, could have definitely improved her score, so a 35 there for her. But a good match. Each player got a bullseye. Each player got used to the board and felt a little bit of the pressure with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw watching over him.
Yeah, real tip of the cap to both of these players on how they got their Battle Axe careers started. Beth Jen could have been right in this one had it not been for that footfall on the first throw. Here's Beth on her Battle Axe debut.
It was a little nerve-wracking. I had a foot fault on the first throw because I got a little excited about it because I hit the board. That was my goal, was to make it stick. But I thought I did pretty well. Most of them stuck, and I even got a bullseye, so that was exciting.
Some new faces here on Battle Axe, but plenty of familiar ones as well. And one face that is more familiar than perhaps any face in this league is Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Here is the former champion on his quest for Battle Axe excellence.
Yeah, when I first started, just trying to get familiar with the axe and how a throw works, and then I got to be a little bit consistent. That worked for me, but I just wasn't feel like I was having too many moving parts. So every season and every off season, I've been trying to dial back moving parts. The more motion that you can eliminate, the better off you're going to be, and be able to maintain that muscle memory and have a repeated throw. So I think it's been 2 years since I've started this, and I think I finally got a throw that I can feel comfortable with, and now it's just a matter of just doing those minor, simple adjustments that'll take me from, a low average to a high average, and that's what I'm looking for.
Matt Bradshaw, always retooling, always looking to get better. He's got that champion drive.
Like any athlete, he's always working to elevate his game, so.
The former champion, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, set to take on another former champ, Eric the Scope Shizzle. We've got a heavyweight matchup here in week number 1.
Absolutely. As we saw in our last fall league, Eric had an injury to his throwing arm, and now he is back to throwing right-handed. So we'll see how the new old throw, I guess, plays out.
Bullseye, Matt.
Well, no surprise to see the Magic Man start things off with a bullseye and Eric the Scope does the same.
Nice throw.
She's
and
playing in the other room.
No surprise also to see Taylor Swift in Eric's corner as well. So.
Yeah, Taylor Swift always behind Eric the Scope Shizzle. Those two go way back.
Absolutely. So each player starting off with the 6 here, really good start. And Eric knows he's up against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. He really just has to focus on his throws. Couple of nice, it looks like a couple 6s there again.
Bullseye, Eric.
Yeah, the Scope has been a big T Swift fan
Bullseye,
ever since
Matt.
the very beginning, back when she was singing about teardrops on her guitar.
Absolutely. And so one of the things Matt always kind of talks about is he doesn't
That's
worry
really
about
loud,
his
yeah.
opponent and what his opponent's throwing. I think it's one of the things that players in this league have learned how to adopt, or are trying to learn how to adopt. Not worrying about who you're throwing against, worried about the board that you're playing. And it's just focusing on that. So
That's what all the good ones do. Obviously, at a certain point, you do need to pay attention.
you need to pay
the
attention.
Score,
Yes, absolutely.
but
But you can't worry. You can't worry that, I'm up against
Bye,
Matt the
Matt.
Magic Man Bradshaw, right? I have to just focus on my throws. And as you can see, Matt gaining a point, Eric with a 4 there, but he just has to eliminate that from his brain, just focus on that 5 and 6 ring, because he knows that's what he needs to beat Magic Man.
the Magic Man, always known for his pants, and the pants he's wearing here today, they might be the best ones I've seen yet.
They're almost like the MC Hammer parachute pants a little bit, bringing back the retro
Bye, Matt.
parachute pants.
Very loose fitting.
Bullseye, Eric.
Looks like kind of like the carpet you'd see on a bowling alley.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really sharp.
Fifth
He is
row,
a man
you
of
guys are
style.
tied
We know that for
22.
sure. So
For
again, Eric with a nice throw
2022,
there of
Taylor's version.
6 there. So knotting this thing all up at 22, going into the 5th throw. Not a bad position for Eric to be in.
Exactly the kind of start you would expect from these two juggernauts.
And you can see Eric going right back to that right-handed throw, and another nice throw there by Eric.
Bullseye, Eric.
But
Or
he
Matt.
really seems like he hasn't lost a beat. I mean, he threw all last season with his left hand. And he's coming out the first match hot, up 2 points on the Magic Man going into the turn.
Yeah, 4 bullseyes for Eric Shizzle in his first 5 throws. Seems he's happy to be back to throwing with the right hand.
Right, he's back at it, and it looks like a couple of bullseyes there. We'll have to see on Eric's.
Bullseye, Matt. Bullseye,
Ooh.
Eric. Sorry.
We've got our first unicorn of the
Forgot your
season,
name.
Eric the Scope
I
Shizzle.
forgot your name.
Another bullseye to maintain his 2-point lead over Matt Bradshaw. These two are really playing at a high level right
Absolutely, just a fantastic matchup. And just like we saw with Stephanie and Gina in the earlier matchup, it's really important now for Eric to keep that pedal on the metal, keep putting consistent points on the board, and do not leave the door open for the Magic Man.
now. Yeah, just one slip up and the Magic Man can make you pay.
Yeah, that looks like a 5. That could be a 6, depending on the top of that blade there. But Eric just taking a deep breath, focusing on the throw. You can hear the hush of the crowd. Ooh, it's going to be an important ruling here. That could be...
5, Eric.
All right.
We're still 5.
5. It could have been a 4. That was really close to a 4. So Eric lucky to just give up 1 point.
He maintains the lead, but it's now just a 1-point game with 3 throws to go.
Okay, he's still in the lead. Take that deep breath, focus, and just put up that consistent 5. I mean, we've seen Matt kind of get into a little bit of a 4 rut himself. Obviously, it's not, a ton of 4s, but we've seen it happen before.
5, Matt. 4, Eric.
Ooh, very close, just like his last throw. Was
I
very,
just
very
put this
consistent,
new
very
line
close
here.
to a 4, and unfortunately wasn't hitting any of that 5 ring.
It's definitely
So
your
we've got
fault.
a tied game with 2 throws to go.
This is your 9th throw,
So
and it's tied at
What
43.
we say Eric can't do. Cannot lead the Magic Man or let the Magic Man back in the door.
Ooh,
Wow.
some great throws
four,
there from
Eric.
Bradshaw and
Bullseye Matt.
Shizzle. But that one's a 4.
That's a
for
4.
Shizzle. It looked like it was a 5 from
All right,
our
last
vantage
throw.
point, but
Matt is up by 2
just like
points.
that, the Magic Man turns a 2-point deficit into a 2-point lead.
Well, and you saw those last 3 throws that Eric has had. They've been so close to that 4. He's kind of getting out of that ring. So he needs a big mistake here by Matt. If Matt throws a 4 and Eric hits a bullseye, we're going into sudden death. So we'll see how this shakes out. Ooh, that's a pretty close throw. But Matt the
There's
Magic
the
Man
dagger. Matt
Man.
the Magic Man Bradshaw
with authority.
wins a fantastic matchup here.
Do you want to get the ruling on this?
Bullseye, Eric.
So it is a
So
bullseye. there
Shizzle
for-
gets a bullseye, but it's just
All right, that was a really
A
good
little
game. It was
too
53, Eric, 54,
late.
Matt.
Wow.
as the Magic Man wins 54-53.
Yeah, Eric did what he had to do on that last throw, throwing a 6 there, hoping for Matt to make a mistake, throwing a 4 to force this thing to go into sudden death. But Matt with just a really authoritative throw there, land a 5 to go up 54-53 over the scope, and just a tremendous matchup for both players in their first go at it.
Yeah, no doubt these two are champion contenders once again, and Eric the Scope is throwing really well with that right hand. You
Yeah,
had to
it looks like
wonder
he
how
hadn't
he
been-
would throw, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
he
missing
didn't miss a
beat.
beat at all, like coming back and throwing with his right hand. So congratulations to him. It should be a good season for both players.
We've got much more Battle Axe still to come here on MC22. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. As always, we are at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, to bring you all of the action here as we get a new season started. It's our 4th season of the show here in week number 1. We've still got 4 matchups to go, and we're going to bring you our 5th matchup of the day right now. Everett Shure, newcomer to this league who got started with a win earlier today, is going to take on Cody Yoakum. So Everett Shure got things started with a win earlier against another newcomer.
Yep.
Now he's going to go up against one of the very best players from last season in Cody Yoakum.
Absolutely nothing like getting thrown to the fire. So
Five
both
Everett.
players coming in at 1-0 with a nice showing in their first
Bullseye,
matchups.
Cody.
And Cody picking up right where he left off, another 6 to start the game, and Everett with a nice throw of a 5 there to keep pace.
Yeah, earlier today, Cody Yoakum got his 4th season started with a very impressive round of 51 to get a victory over Brandon Feenstra.
5,
Yeah,
Cody.
and Cody's one of those players that, last year he had a
4,
really strong
Everett.
showing in the tournament. One of those players that he's one of the top players in the league, and no one wants to face him. So really dangerous player when it comes tournament time because he can go all the way.
Indeed he can. Everett doesn't look
Wow.
intimidated by Yoakum, though.
No, he does not look intimidated. That's a
4,
nice
Cody,
5.
5,
Could be a 6. I'd get a closer look if I were Everett, but as you can see, he kind of gives it a once-over. So Jenny made the correct call there with a 5, but still a 1-point lead here for Cody Yoakum. They're on the axe well. Another nice throw there by Everett as well.
Bullseye and bullseye.
Ah, wow. So a couple bullseyes. Again, that blade has to be shown on both sides. So a little bit of
All
red
right,
poking
5th
through.
throw, Cody is up by 1 point.
was a tremendous matchup here for Everett in his second match playing.
Yeah, he's really been off to an impressive start, looking like someone who could compete for a
Everett,
title
5
here.
Cody.
So it looks like the bottom part of that blade for Cody is popping through on that 5 side, and Everett unfortunately hitting that black ring, not popping through. So a 2-point advantage for Cody going into the turn, 24-26. But just a great job by both players. Oh, wow.
3 Everett, 3
Well,
Cody.
sometimes when you
Wow.
switch sides, it can be a little difficult to keep that rhythm going, and that's exactly what we saw right there. 3s from
Both
both
players.
both Newcomer and Shure.
Yeah, you saw Everett kind of shrugging his shoulders after throwing a 3. Very fortunate that Cody threw a 3, a
5,
rare
4, and
thing that
4.
we see from Cody. But they're moving their way back towards that 5-6 rings, a couple 4s there for them on the 7th throw. So Everett definitely fortunate to not lose points on that throw.
Newcomer
Nice.
up by 2,
What a great throw
4
there,
Cody,
Everett.
5
Ooh.
Everett.
and Shure is going to pick up a point here to make it a 1-point game with 2 throws to go.
He's very close to tying that thing up here, Joey. That was really close to a bullseye. Bottom part of that blade just not popping through on that red side, that red bullseye. Looks like a 4 there for Everett.
4 Everett, 4 Cody.
But Cody's really not capitalizing on Everett's missed
All
throws
right,
here.
last throw.
Yeah, he's
Cody
had
is
the
up by
chance to
1
put it
point.
away, hasn't been able to do it, and now he's got a 1-point lead with 1 throw to go. It all comes down to this.
He's got to capitalize a 4 there. Looks like a 4 there
4
for
Everett,
Cody
4
as well.
Cody.
So, wow.
All
Cody
right, good
escapes
game.
with by the hair of his
44
chinny chin
Everett,
chin.
45 Cody.
Well, Cody Newcomer wins a nail-biter over Everett Shure, 45-44.
Yeah, you saw Cody with breathing a sigh of relief coming out there with a narrow victory over Everett Shure. Just a nice job by Everett throwing another 44 in his second matchup. Cody getting stuck in that little 4 rut. You can see after the turn there, his scores kind of dipped from the 5 and 6 to the 3 and 4s there. So something he'll look to improve on in more matches, but a great overall game.
Yeah, nice start here for Everett Shure as well in his rookie season on Battle Axe. We've got another old familiar face ready to get going here in season number 4. It's Casey Laserwolf Nines. Here he is on going up against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
He is. I mean, he hits those high scores consistently. His game performance is great. He doesn't seem to be affected by other players, which is hard to do, even though, you know, most of these games are you're against yourself in points. But when it comes down to tournament, I mean, he just doesn't really buckle. So he's a great competitor for one, which makes it harder. And so I'm just looking forward to playing against him again. And hopefully I can pull ahead this time.
These competitors really just have the utmost respect for one another.
Absolutely, the utmost respect, and they love facing each other because it improves their game. So
We've got another heavyweight matchup here. Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw against Casey Laserwolf Nines. Always love when these two go head-to-head.
it's a classic matchup for
All right,
sure.
start when you're
You
ready.
can see these two friends love facing each other. Matt coming in at 1-0. This is the first match for Casey, so we'll see if Casey can give Matt a run for his money like Eric did earlier in the show.
Yeah, Bradshaw was just able to get the victory over Eric Shizzle, 54-53. And now he's got another tough matchup here
For Casey.
in week number 1
Yeah,
on
Casey-
season number 4.
Yeah, Casey just missing that 5 there, just hitting the 4 ring, so only down by 1, but again, he knows, and he's got to focus on his throw, just like we were talking about in the earlier match with Eric. He's got to just focus on his throw, not worry about Matt and what he's throwing right now.
Yeah, Casey Nines has been with us since the very beginning on Battle Axe. He's always been one of those players right on the cusp of
Bullseye
winning
Casey,
that
bullseye Matt.
Battle Axe championship. Hasn't been able to do it yet.
Yeah, and as we saw in the last year's tournament, he went all the way to the finals. He was the one person that was not defeated, but ended up falling short. So he knows he can get there. He's just got to seal the deal. So
Nice throw there from Nines.
yeah,
We'll
looks
see
like
if it's a bull.
looks like a 5 here.
5
And
Casey,
it's a
5
5 for
Matt.
Matt as well, so still a 1-point advantage here for the Magic Man. But each player kind of locking in their throw. And as we've kind of talked about before in the last season, for players of these caliber, and as you can see a 4 there, the 4 is really a mistake for them. That's the kind of level that they're playing at. They're hitting those 5s and 6s consistently.
4 Casey,
So when they
4
hit those
Matt.
4s, they consider it a mistake.
Yeah, it's pretty rare you'll see Nines or Bradshaw throw a 4, but
All right,
both of
fifth
them do it
row,
right
Matt
there
is
on
up
their
by
4th
1
throw.
point.
It's still a 1-point lead for the Magic Man after 4 throws.
Well, the announcer's jinx is real, Joey. So, anytime I talk about it, it's going to happen. So, nice rebound. Oh, that could be a 4 there for Casey, though, if it's not popping through. There's a nice rebound there for Matt, though.
Bullseye, Matt.
And it is a 4, so that blade just not popping through on that 5 ring on both sides, so Jenny not able to see that bare wood there. So it's a 3-point advantage here for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Any other competitor, it would be something you can come back from. It seems insurmountable against the Magic Man.
5 Casey, 4 Matt.
But a nice job from Casey to cut into that lead. We've seen crazy things happen here before on Battle Axe, Joey, so a 2-point lead going in the 7th throw.
And this is a situation like we talked about. You can't get too caught up in what your opponent is doing. You just got to stay in your own mental zone.
Exactly.
And throw your very best axes. And
5 Casey,
Yep.
Bullseye,
Casey
Matt.
Nines, he's been around long enough to know that's what you got to do. But Matt the Magic Man just keeps putting his foot on the gas, another bullseye to extend the lead to 3.
Yeah, I mean, Casey knows the formula. And Casey knows that he has to put up 5s and 6s, and he has to throw his best game. And he's thrown his best game against Matt. I mean, we've seen him defeat him before. But, Matt just does a great job of focusing on that board. Casey with the 5 there.
5 Casey,
Yeah, I was going to say, it
Bullseye,
looked like a
Matt.
bullseye there at the bottom of that blade there for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. So now a 4-point lead going into the 9th throw. Just a great way to start the season out for both competitors.
Back-to-back bullseyes for Bradshaw. A chance at a unicorn here on his 9th throw.
All right, got a chance at a unicorn. Can he do it? Ooh.
5 Casey, 5 Matt.
Just
Off the
missed
mark.
it.
Off the mark a little bit, but
That's
All
why they
right,
call it
this
a
is gonna be your
unicorn.
last
It's
throw,
yeah,
Matt,
very
with the
elusive.
5-4
it's very
point.
elusive. We don't see him all the time, but, I mean, we always enjoy when we do see it, though. So, again, Casey's just got to focus on putting nice high score on the board here. Looks like a 4 initially. We'll see how Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw responds. Ooh. Very close to a bullseye there.
5 Matt, 4 Casey.
Well, that's going to be it. Matt Bradshaw gets the win over
All
Casey
right, good game.
Nines.
47 Casey.
57,
52 Matt.
52 to 47. So Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw gets another win here, 52 to 47 over Casey Nines.
Yeah, Matt runs his record to 2-0 with a nice score of 52, as you can see there with the 4 bullseyes. Really a nice showing, although a couple of 4s, and we've seen Matt kind of get stuck in that rut a little bit at times. And as you can see for Casey Nines, just a 1-6. That's a rarity. We don't see that out of him. We see many more 6s out of there, so definitely first game jitters. You can chalk it up to, some of those 5s could have been 6s, and I'm sure they will improve as the season goes on.
No doubt we know much better games are ahead for Casey Nines as we get another season going here on Battle Axe. We've still got more action to bring you here on week number 1. We'll bring it to you straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. We're getting another season started. Last season, Casey Laserwolf Nines made a run all the way to the championship. He was unbeaten in the winner's bracket before losing back-to-back matchups in the championship series to finish runner-up. Now he's back for another season. Here's Nines on his focus heading into season 4.
After last season where I came to second place, I was feeling pretty good. My last 2 games, I definitely buckled up a little bit, and I knew that. The pressure was on, obviously. So I do need to work on that. I think that is definitely affecting my games. So that's gonna be my focus this year is like just worry about the game, don't worry about like what's gonna happen. Just try to do your best, and then hopefully I'll be able to, get in second or first place this time.
Yeah, Nines already lost the championship. He doesn't want that to lose any more games for him.
Right, he's come ever so close a couple times in these tournaments that we've had, and looking to seal the deal this year.
Looking to put it in the rearview mirror and be bigger and better than ever before. Casey Laserwolf Nines set to take on Everett Shure.
So we've seen a couple great matches here from Everett to get his season started, coming in at 1-1, and Casey Nines coming in at 0-1, so this should be a great matchup.
Yeah, the rookie against one of the old guards of this
5
league.
Casey, 5 Everett.
That's going to get a
Jenny's
little
Jenny's
closer
going to
look.
get
yeah.
a closer look. Maybe it
Oh,
could
no,
be a
it's a 5.
bullseye.
That's so
Very
close.
close, but it's a 5.
It was close, Casey.
Ever so close, but again, tied up going into the second throw. And Casey just, with that other 5 there, just missing the bullseye by a little bit.
All right, 5
Still kind
Everett.
of trying to get that throw locked in.
Yeah, he only had
4
one
Casey.
bullseye in his loss earlier today against Matt Bradshaw. Yet to throw one here against Everett Shure. Shure's got a 10-9 lead after the first 2 throws.
Yeah, and again, Everett's doing a good job just focusing on that board. Hasn't really
4
seemed to
Casey,
be
4
worrying about the
Everett.
player he's up against. He's just focused on throwing that consistent throw. But a couple 4s there, so each player's still trying to get locked into that bullseye. Ooh, wow.
3 Casey, 4 Everett.
So a 3 there by Laserwolf. Talk about a rare mistake. So
Yeah, we were talking in his matchup against Bradshaw how rare 3s are for players like Casey
All right,
Nines and
fifth row,
Bradshaw. That's
Everett's up by
2
2.
3s today for Casey Nines.
nice 5 there to
5
get back on
Casey.
the horse. But yeah, again, sometimes you can hold on to that axe a little bit too much and get an over rotation to get that. That
I would say
3.
4 Everett.
And as Jenny's looking at that score,
If you want me to check with someone, I can.
could be popping through on each side, but it is a 4 there for Everett.
All right.
So a 1-point advantage here for Everett going into the
Yeah.
turn here. So not a bad position for him to be in.
A great match thus far between Laserwolf and Everett Shure.
All right.
Well, he is
Bullseye,
back,
Casey.
folks. Laserwolf with the bullseye there, and we'll see. This is an important ruling here. Is it a 5 or a 4?
4 Everett.
Wow.
Well,
Just like
Just-
that. That's what can happen here in Battle Axe. You can have a lead 1 minute and then lose it the next.
Nines with his first bullseye of the match to take the lead over Everett Shure.
Looks like that's popping through in the 5 ring there for Everett.
5 Casey, 5
And
Everett.
again, that's something we've seen a lot this opening week here, Joey, is that really close 5 or 4 throw. You know, it's just been on that 5 ring. And it's really determined a lot of these matches.
4 Everett, 4 Casey.
So they trade points again. Laserwolf wants Jenny to
Sorry.
take another look
Oh,
at this
5
one.
Casey.
And rightfully so.
Rightfully
it's a
so.
5.
Yeah, you could definitely see that there from the action cam. Some of the wood popping through on both sides of the blade there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Nines now has a 2-point lead. And he'll look to put it away.
Nice throw there by Everett. Looks like a 5. And, ooh, again,
5
Axe
Everett,
just
4
getting away
Casey.
from Casey there. So just a 1-point lead going into the 10th throw.
All
So
right, last throw.
We've
Casey's
had
up by
some
1 point.
thrilling finishes here in week number 1, and we've got another one in store here. It comes down to this final throw between
Ooh.
Shure and Nines.
For sure.
wait a second. I think
Is-
Everett is
is-
going to be going for the kill shot here.
How about this?
Wow.
Very aggressive. Ooh.
Ooh, close.
Wow.
4 Casey.
Well, something
know-
we rarely see in the first week is someone going for the kill shot. So you really have to appreciate
Good
the
game.
aggressive tone there for
40
Everett.
to 45 Casey.
Casey Nines gets the win over Everett Shure, 45-40, but Shure gave Nines everything he had.
Absolutely, and I'm a little bit thunderstruck here still, Joey. I mean, going for the kill shot on the 10th throw on the first week, really kind of setting the tone for an aggressive game plan for Everett. Just a really great job and letting his opponents know that he's not going to be intimidated. He's going to be aggressive and go for the most points possible.
Yeah, Everett Shure off to a 1-2 start, but he's taken a couple of really high-quality players right to the brink here. Here's Everett Shure on his goals for this season.
Hey, honestly, if I could stay above 40 for every game, that'd be awesome for me. But really, if I'm pushing myself, I want to get up to 45. If I can hit a 50, that'd be my best that I've ever thrown. So that'd be pretty awesome. So we'll see how the season goes.
Well, looking forward to seeing the progression of Everett Shure throughout season number 4 on Battle Axe. Hannah Brussels back for a new season, and she's got a new axe. Here's Hannah on her new weapon.
Good. I think it's going to be a game changer with my new axe this season. My plan is to get a little higher than I did the last season. I felt really good where I finished the last time, but I think this new axe will be really good for me in my game this season, and I'm excited to get a little closer to the top.
Hannah Brussel hoping her new axe can take her to new heights here on Battle Axe.
Absolutely, Hannah's setting some new goals for herself, and we'll see how it all shakes out in this new season.
Hannah Happy Feet Brussel ready to take on Eric the Scope Shizzle.
All right, this should be a great
All right,
matchup.
do
We
it.
saw Eric take Matt down to the wire. And this is Hannah's first game of the season, so we'll see how she starts off this new league.
Yeah, Eric the Scope throwing very well with his right hand
Yeah.
in week number 1 here on season 4.
Hannah.
Of course, last season he was throwing with the left hand after an
5,
injury to
Eric.
his throwing hand.
Yeah, I know we talked about it a lot in the last season, but it just, I mean, it bears repeating. It's just incredibly impressive how well he threw with his left hand and not missing a beat coming back from one with his right hand. So,
Yeah, as good as he was with the left hand last season, he's so much better with the right hand, and
right.
he's playing at a championship caliber with that right hand as we get season 4 started.
4 Eric. 5 Hannah.
And Hannah with a 5 there, very, very close to a 6 there. You can see Hannah's new axe. It's got a much bigger blade, so again, those 5s can turn into 6s pretty easily. So all tied up here at 9 going into our third throw, Joey. Each competitor doing a nice job of just focusing on the board. Nice throw there by Hannah. Looks like it's a bullseye.
4 Eric. Bullseye Hannah.
Well, Hannah Brussel wasn't kidding about this new
No.
axe being a dangerous weapon to all of the opposition here on Battle Axe.
And she can at least say she warned everybody, right? Because, man, she's coming out throwing good. Doing a nice job of hitting the bullseye there. Now, can she consistently stay within that ring? That's the trick here. And that's a 4 there. You can see the axe being released just a little too soon there.
4 Hannah. 4 Eric.
Ooh, but Eric unable to capitalize on that. There was a 4 as well.
All right. 5th throw. Hannah's up by 2 points.
So 2-point lead going into the 5th throw here, Joey. Not a bad position for Hannah.
Yeah, great start here in season 4 for Hannah Happy Feet Brussel. We, of course, call her Happy Feet because way back in the day she used to have a lot of footfalls, but
Bullseye
Absolutely.
Hannah.
she
Good.
doesn't
Eric.
anymore.
Doesn't get those anymore. She also kind of eliminated the drops from her game and has really improved her game overall. Another nice throw there on the 5th throw. A bullseye going up by 4. Heading into the
Yeah,
turn.
switch sides.
You can see each player was so focused they forgot to switch lanes. So
Yeah, the way Hannah Brussel's throwing, she probably doesn't want to switch lanes. We'll see if she can
Yeah.
be just as good here in the second half from the right
5
side.
Eric.
it's a 5 there for Eric. And that
5
might be a
Hannah.
bullseye for Hannah. No, it is called a 5. As you can see again, though, that blade not missing the bullseye by much. So a 4-point lead for Hannah. Going into the 7th throw, Eric, he's got some work to do.
Hannah Brussel looking to get season 4 started with a big win over Eric the Scope Shizzle. Another good throw. Looks like a 5 from Brussel.
5 Hannah. 4
And it's
Eric.
a 4 from the Scope. So Hannah Brussel has a 5-point lead over Shizzle with 3 throws to go.
All right. So, again, just like every competitor has to keep working on putting points on the board, not letting the other player back in the game, that's Hannah's goal here right now for these final 3 throws. And Eric's got to hope for a mistake. That's a nice throw. Looks like a 5. Could be a 4.
5 Eric. 5 Hannah.
But it is
Hannah
a 5.
Brussel, happy feet, happy to trade points with Eric Shizzle at this point. She's closing in on a big win.
Yeah, can we do happy axe, happy life? Does that work out the same way, or is it
Absolutely.
does it have to rhyme?
Yeah.
No, with a nice throw. Looks like the axe got away from her a little bit. A 4. And
4 Hannah.
Eric
5
with
Eric.
a 5, so he does get a point up. Let's see if Eric took a page
right,
out of
this is
Everett's
your
book
last
here
throw.
and is
Hannah's
going to go
up
for the
by
kill
4.
shot here. Can see maybe
Yeah,
he's
4
thinking
points
about it.
is a lot to make up, especially with the way Hannah Brussel's throwing today.
It looks like he's just going to play it out like normal, but I still got to say, man, that's got to be a game changer for a lot
5
of people.
Hannah. 4 Eric.
Hannah Brussel puts
All
a
right,
bow
good
on
game.
this one. She
44
gets
Eric,
the win
49
over
Hannah.
Eric Shizzle,
Yeah.
49 to 44.
Yeah, Hannah was not kidding. That new axe was definitely a game changer. Just a tremendous job. Couple bullseyes there. What I see standing out for Hannah is really consistent 5s. As you can see, a lot of 5s on the board there. Really doing a good job of not letting Eric back in this match. And as for Eric, on his side, just too many 4s, as you can see there. A lot of 4s, no bullseyes, so something that he had when he faced the Magic Man, but he couldn't carry over to his second match. But good thing to come for both players for sure.
Yeah, and even those 4s, the few 4s that Hannah threw, she wasn't missing the 5s by much. She talked about wanting to elevate her game to the next level. She's off to a great start here in Season 4.
Absolutely. Well on her way. Let's take a look at our post-game wrap-up here, Joey. See where it all shook out at the end of Week 1 here.
Yeah, 1 week of Battle Axe in the books, 6 weeks to go until our double elimination postseason tournament. Here are the standings after week number 1. No surprise, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw is the man everyone's chasing. He's a perfect 4-0, averaging 54 points per game.
Yeah, just a nice start there by Matt. Eric gave him a run for his money in the first matchup, but able to escape with the victory, going 4-0. Casey Nines following, Cody Yoakum, Eric Chisel, Brandon Feenstra, Hannah Brussel, Everett Shure, number 7 there, Stephanie Prine, Haley Streit, and Gina Feenstra round out the top 10.
Well, thanks so much for watching here on week number 1 of Battle Axe. We'll see you again here next time for more action on MC22.